Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hayward, I'm going to attempt to ask some of the questions that some of my colleagues have asked, but really haven't been answered. Now, on Tuesday, we had the leaders of ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, and ConocoPhillips. They all insisted at the hearing on Tuesday that they would not have made the mistakes that led to the well explosion. Are they lying to us, or are you lying to us by telling us that you don't know who was responsible and don't know whether or not BP did something wrong? They're all saying BP did something wrong.
I believe we need to await the results of the multiple investigations before we draw conclusions.
Well, it's 2 months.
I want to get to the bottom of this more than anyone. I want to learn the lessons, and I want to ensure that we can learn the lessons and that the industry can learn the lessons.
Well, I don't understand. It's 61 days. It's 2 months. I mean, what kind of an investigation are you going to conduct? Why in 2 months, with all this oil spilling into the Gulf, do we not have at least a preliminary investigation?
Well, we are conducting a full and comprehensive investigation. It involves a team of more than 50 people. We have shared the results of that investigation as they become available with this committee, and we will continue to do that.
Well, Mr. Hayward, perhaps your lawyers have told you to be very cautious, but it's really an insult for you to come to this committee and keep repeating the same thing, evade questions, evade answers, and just repeat again and again that you were not responsible and that we have to wait for an investigation. Why didn't you come testify to this committee after the investigation if you're not prepared to tell us anything of knowledge now?
With respect, Congressman, I wasn't party to any of the decision-making around this well in the time it was being drilled, and therefore I'm not in a position to make a judgment about whether the decisions taken were the right ones or the wrong ones.
Well, but we've all made a judgment because it's 60 days, and oil is spilling into the Gulf. So obviously, decisions were made that were wrong. Can't you just admit that? Can't you just say, I'm sorry? Can't you just admit that decisions were made that were wrong instead of sitting there and telling us you don't know and you have to await an investigation?
I am very, very sorry that this accident occurred. Very sorry. I deeply regret it. I deeply regret it for very many reasons. And I do believe that it's right to investigate it fully and draw the right conclusions.
What needs to be investigated? What needs to be investigated that has not been investigated up till now, and how long will it take you?
I can't answer how long it will take because we want to make certain it's complete. But there are clearly many investigations. Excuse me, sorry. There are many investigations ongoing. There's our investigation, there's a Marine Board investigation, and a Presidential Commission. And they will undoubtedly draw important conclusions for all of them.
But you're the CEO. Shouldn't you not set the tone for the investigation? Shouldn't you not say, I demand that within a month we're going to know what happened? I mean, you're really insulting our intelligence with all due respect by not giving us any answers and telling us that you have to wait for some investigation. I think the rest of the world isn't blind. We know what's happened, and we know that BP obviously didn't do what it was supposed to do. Only you don't know that.
I believe I have set the right tone. We've launched an investigation within 24 hours. We've made it open and transparent, and we're sharing with everyone the results as they come out.
Well, let me ask you this. How many other wells has BP in the Gulf?
I don't know the precise number, but it's a large number.
Give me a ballpark figure.
In the order of hundreds.
Okay. How can we be assured that the same thing won't happen with one of the other wells? How can you give us assurances that what happened with this well won't happen again to several hundred wells?
The other wells that I'm referring to have all been drilled and completed and are secure.
So you are saying that in all the other wells that BP has, something that happened to this well could never happen again in any of those other wells?
All of the other wells that I'm referring to are wells that have been completed and are secure.
So is that the same assurance that you had said that you were going to, with a laser, make safety a priority? Is this the same kind of assurance that you're giving us now?
I have, throughout my tenure, been very explicit about the priority of safety in BP. It is the first word I utter every time I talk to any group of people in BP. The fact that safe and reliable operations is our number one priority. And we have made very significant changes to our processes, to our people, and invested very significantly into the integrity of our plant and equipment over the last 3 or 4 years.
Mr. Hayward, let me just say with all due respect, I, like everyone else here and everyone else in America, is thoroughly disgusted. I think you're stalling. I think you're insulting our intelligence, and I really resent it. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.